Now, when people ask me what I do for a living, I'm extremely proud to be able to say that I am a content creator. And as such, I rely heavily on technology, especially batteries. And when anyone mentions DJI, the first thing that comes to your mind is probably drones. But it's not just drones that DJI manufacture, they also manufacture cameras and microphones. Like this microphone here, for instance. This is a DJI Mini, and the battery in this microphone will last me well over a week before charging it. It's never let me down. I'm really impressed with this, and I'm using the microphone right now, in fact. Look how tiny that is, and that lasts well over a week, being used constantly. I do hope that it didn't just pair. And as for their camera as well, let me tell you, Becky's got a DJI Osmo Action 5, and that outperforms any GoPro that I've got. So much so, I'm actually thinking about ditching all my GoPros and switching over purely to using DJI cameras. So I've got a DJI Power 1000 here on the top of my workbench, and that's because I use this power station to charge all of my batteries, my microphone, my drones, everything. All my tech is charged by this power station, and I've been using this for a good probably 2 years now. But all of that is about to change because DJI recently got in touch with me and said, how would you like to try our brand new Power 1000 Mini? Apparently it's the world's smallest 1 kilowatt portable power station, and it's got some incredible features built into it as well, so I simply could not say no. And here it is. This is the world's smallest 1 kilowatt portable power station, and you can see the size difference is incredible. It's pretty much, well, it's almost half the size of the original Power 1000. But here's the kicker. This has actually got a built-in MPPT charge controller, unlike the original Power 1000. It's also got the capability of being charged or fast charged using the alternator of your vehicle. And to do that, you do need an optional extra. And I will be trying this out. We'll be putting this to the test. But first, let's actually take a close look at this. First observations, you'll notice everything is on the front panel. There's nothing around the sides. You can see the sides, there's ventilation at the back. We've got a nice carry handle, and it is extremely light. I should have looked to see what the weight was. Another vent on the side here. So as long as you don't fit this too tightly into a cabinet in your camper van, you could actually just put this in a cubby hole somewhere, because everything is reachable at the front. And because it's got this handle, I'd imagine you could use this as an anchor point to stop it moving around in your van. Absolutely terrific, and I will be using this in my camper. This is definitely going to be a keeper. After all, I've got my fast charger that I use on here, on my original Power 1000. I'll tell you what, that's been plugged in there for so long. Not anymore. It is going to be plugged into the Power 1000 Mini. It's under here. Oh, there you go. That's where you plug the 240 volt cable in if you want to charge it using mains. So that will go into here, and we'll try this later as well, see how fast it charges. And of course, my fast charger for my drone, that is going to be permanently plugged into there. Unless, of course, I'm using the fast charge alternator cable, because I do believe that plugs into there as well. Looking at the box, we'll take a look at this, like I said, later on. Let's plug that out of the way so that you can see the screen. Let's turn it on. Let's see what we got. Now, something else you'll notice is this really unusual and totally unique built-in retractable, ooh, look at that, USB-C charging cable. For that, let's try that, shall I? Just plug that into my, yeah, straight away starts charging. There's no switch to have to turn on to get the DC to charge, which I really like, and that's a feature that the original Power 1000 has as well, which I really like. Let's unplug that because it just looks messy. Oh look, we can pull it and in it goes again. There we go. That's really neat. No more searching around for cables. It's there, waiting for you. So that's the AC socket. We'll try this out as well. We'll put this to the test to see how much power we can draw out of it. We'll try and flatten the battery inside this a little bit, and then we'll try and recharge it using the alternator off of my Mercedes Sprinter. Now, since though we are in a workshop, let's try some workshop tools. After we've got a jigsaw, a really powerful drill, I think that will do. Let's try this, see what happens, see how many watts come out of this. Oh, don't go just yet. Easy. Easy, easy. Didn't even break a sweat. Let's put that back in there. Jigsaw. That peaked at 1,200 watts then when I first pulled the trigger. Anyway, easy. It's not even gone down. Right, what else can we find? Put it around this side. I'm not actually going to saw anything, I'm just going to hopefully turn it on. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, what am now? Ah, maybe we've maxed out on this. This could be its maximum. Let's try again. Oh yeah, it didn't like that. But then I think this is about 2,000 watts. Let's try again. Yeah, cut out straight away. Didn't like that. Can the DJI 1 kilowatt power station run a 1,200 watt router? I'm going to hold this away from myself. Let's try, shall we? This is rated at 1,200 watts, and yet it's only pulling around about 600. That's no good, is it? We want something a bit more heavy duty than that. So let's try something else. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got to say, I'm becoming more and more impressed with this. Let's try this induction cooktop. Not sure what this induction cooktop is rated at, so this might not work. I don't know. Let's put it there. Let's turn it on. I'm going to turn the power down to 1,000 watts. Is it going to work? 1,000 watts. Look at that. Oh, no. Oh yeah, it's induction cook. It's going 1,015 watts here. Let's crank it up a little bit. 1,016, 17. Bit more. 1,100 watts. It's still going. It's over 1,100 watts. Oh, and it's gone. It's had enough. There we go. This is great because we can actually test this now. Let's turn it back on. Yeah. Right, I'm going to take this off so it doesn't try and go. Yeah, it didn't like that. My induction cooktop didn't like just losing power at all. So let's turn it back down to 900 watts. Put the pot on, see what happens now. Can we boil a kettle? Let's see how much power it takes to actually boil a kettle. We're pulling its maximum 1,000 watts. So it says here, at this rate, it will last around about an hour. Which is about right, isn't it? Because it's a 1 kilowatt power bank. So it should be able to deliver 1,000 watts for about an hour. I think that's about right. Let's see, we'll get a cup of tea in a minute. I'll be right back. That's it, it's boiling. Let's turn that off. We don't want to listen to that whistling all day long. Steve, it didn't take that long either. And it's not used a lot of power. And to be fair, I do believe by doing this short experiment, I don't see no reason why this would not be perfect for a small camper van. Absolutely fantastic. Right, with all that done, now I'm going to go ahead and actually try this cable out. I'm busting to plug this into an alternator to see what happens. I don't think you're supposed to unplug these straight away, are you? Oops, my bad, sorry. Oh, it's done. Yes, you shouldn't unplug induction cooktops straight away. You should let them cool down. Anyway, it's because I'm excited to try this cable out. Let's get rid of this and we'll try that next. Okay, so I've got a little bit dirty doing this. The other end of this cable is now connected up to the Mercedes Sprinter starter battery. Let's plug it in and see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't draw power, but we'll see. Well, it says I've got 12.55 volts and it's not drawing power. That's fantastic. So we might get away with just connecting this up straight to the battery. No voltage sensing relay needed. So without further ado, let's start up the Sprinter and hopefully this will kick in and start charging from the Sprinter. I'm really excited about this. Let's try this out. Is it working? The voltage has gone up. It's gone past 14 volts and it looks like it's starting to charge. 399 watts it's drawing from my Sprinter alternator. So I think it's safe to say it actually works. So I'm just going to switch it off now and see if it continues to draw power. If this works, this is going to be a really good option for especially for like micro camper vans or car campers, or even people that use tents for that matter, because you could literally plug this into your alternator and unplug it and take it with you. It's not hardwired into your van. That's just occurred to me. Yeah, and it's stopped. It's no longer drawing power. So this feature alone makes this portable power station extremely unique. I know of no other portable power station you can plug directly to your engine battery and use alternator charging in this manner without having to buy accessories. Well, the only accessory you need really is the cable. Now at the moment I don't know how much this is going to cost, but given DJI's track record on their pricing, I do believe this will be extremely competitive, and if it is, it's going to be a game changer. I think other portable power bank manufacturers are really going to have to sit up and take note of what DJI have done. They've really pulled something out of the bag with this. Absolutely terrific. And on that note, I think I'm going to charge my drone batteries whilst I've got this out. Okay, so I'm now going to do my best to run this down. I want to flatten this if I can, because I want to plug it into a mains power source, or a 240 volt socket, just to see and test how quickly this actually charges from, say, around about 10-20% to 100%, because what they quote is incredibly fast. So let's put that to the test next. But as a side note, if you are interested in getting hold of one of these, I will leave a link in the description of this video, purely for your convenience. Also, I'll leave a link to where you can buy yourself a ticket to win my Mercedes Sprinter camper van for no more than £5. So if you're interested in getting your hands on this van, check that link out as well. If you're interested in a DJI Mini Power 1000, there'll also be a link down there for you as well. Well, I've charged me drones, I've charged all my cameras, my laptop, everything I could possibly plug into this, and it's still at 39%. So here I am in the back of my Mercedes Vario, because it occurred to me that I've actually got a water heater system in this Vario, and part of that system is actually 240 volts, and I think the heating element draws around about 600-700 watts. So I thought, what a perfect way to run the rest of the battery down, because it will give me hot water for later as well, hopefully. So let's plug this in. Did I leave it switched on? Nope. Switch it on. Hopefully it's not over 1,000 watts. 702 watts, absolutely perfect. So I'm simply going to leave this plugged into my hot water heater and let it run completely flat, and then we'll take it home, plug it into the mains and see how long it takes to charge up. So by the magic of editing, I'll see you when I get home. Well, I'm pleased to say my plan works. The water heater in the Vario has taken all the available power from the DJI Power Mini 1000. So let's switch it on and see how long it takes to charge from mains. More importantly, how much is it actually going to draw? Any minute now. There we go, it's going. Wow, look at that. It is taking 1,000 watts. That's 1 kilowatt of power being drawn into this tiny power bank. And it says it's going to take 60 minutes to charge. So an hour to charge a 1 kilowatt power bank. Sounds about right, because after all, it is a 1 kilowatt hour battery. Right, let's get my timer. So I'm going to set a timer on my phone, and then we'll see. 1 hour and 12 minutes so far. And according to this, we've still got 34 minutes left to top up that extra 10%. I think they do this to save or to safeguard the LiPo4 batteries so they don't overheat. It kind of trickle charges the last 10%. So there you go. It's taken a little bit over an hour to go from absolute 0 to 90%. I don't think that's too bad. That's quite acceptable, I do believe. Right, so I'm going to let this top off, and then we'll take a look at some of the more technical specifications of the DJI Power 1000 Mini. Okay, so let's quickly go over the main features of the DJI Power 1000 Mini. And as the name would suggest, as we saw earlier, it does have a 1000 watt pure sine wave inverter built into this that can peak at 1200 watts. And that pure sine wave inverter draws all of its power from the built-in LiPo4 battery that has a storage capacity of 105 amp hours, which equates to 1008 watt hours. Hence the name DJI Power 1000 Mini. And all of that power is delivered via these two standard UK plug sockets. And as we saw earlier, top corner here we have USB-C and USB power outputs. Below that, the very unique DJI SDC power input and output. And DJI do an array of accessories that plug into this, far too many to mention. You'll have to check out their website to see and make sure they do something that would satisfy your needs. I'm pretty sure they will. Now, one other thing I need to mention, and that is this light at the bottom, and it really is a simple switch on and switch off light. Now, with all these features in mind, I think this makes the perfect power station for a small camper van or even a micro camper van. It's so small and compact. In fact, you could probably use this for any camping adventures as well. So there you go. If you're interested in getting your hands on a DJI Power 1000 Mini, I will leave a link in the description of this video, purely for your convenience. Thanks for watching this video. I do hope you found it mildly entertaining, slightly informative. If you did, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you very soon. Thanks for watching, and ta-ra for now.